Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Can you get up, Tom?
Oh,
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We stand for a minute of silence while we pray for those 26 people that were murdered and seriously injured during the prayer service at the Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Texas. We pray for their friends, their families, as well as their little town. God bless these United States, especially our Cottrellville Township as well, that this Township Board continues to do its best for the betterment of our residents. We ask all this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Okay, Cottrellville Township Board meeting, Wednesday, November 8th, 2017. Can we start with roll call, please?
Sue? Here. Tom?
here.
Kathy? Here. Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sherry? Here.
Okay. All right, we have the agenda in front of you. I do have one change. This was given to me this morning, and it's a request for the renewal of this assessor certification. We split the cost with Clay Township every year, and also for Ruth is also supposed to be getting $50 towards her MCAT designation. So that would be under F, new business number 3. That's all I have, unless anyone else has anything. I need a motion to approve the addition to the agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the addition and the agenda as presented.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda with its change. All in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Hearing no opposal, motion carried. All right, let's get started on the consent agenda, approval of the Township Board minutes. We got a regular meeting on Wednesday, October 11th, special town hall meeting on Tuesday, October 17th for the fire millage, special town hall meeting Tuesday, October 24th for fire millage, and then we had a special meeting on Thursday, October 19th, where we met with engineer Eric Osling from Huron Consultants regarding the finalization of the SAW grant submittal to the state of Michigan. Is there anything that, as far as minutes, that you want to change while we're in that section? If not, we'll go on to the approval of the treasurer's reports dated October 31st, 2017. Township investment report for October, including all CDs and money markets. The reconciliation of tax account number 3905 as of October 31st. And cash summary reports by account, general fund for October. Funds 101, 208, 219, 226, 590, 591, 593, 594, and 701. Is there any questions or comments on that?
I just want to say on the bank recs, that tax is done, caught up through October 31st, and now I'm working my way to catch up to the general checking. That's why I only have one in there. I'm still working on presenting it all the way through, and hopefully I'll have it done next month, caught up. So
Very good. Number 3 is approval of the clerk's reports. We got the revenue and expenditure report for October 31st, approval of paychecks October 1st through the 31st of October, gross combined total in the amount of $22,159.50. Letter C is approval of accounts payables. We have $133,657.64 are open to be paid. We have $35,460.01 that are checks that are already paid. In the bank of checks, there was 31 checks written, checks number 19420 through 19450. And we also have a copy of the Fifth Third Township corporate account. Current balance is $25.45. Any questions on that? Correspondence, we have the Marine City Fire Authority runs for October. In the Ira Township Fire runs, I called the chief this afternoon and he called me back. There were 3 calls in October, 2 were trees across the road on Angling, 2 different locations. And the third call was a medical emergency on Starville Road. He says he will begin sending those to me every month, so I guess I'm just gonna have to call him every time.
He's gonna send it with detailed bills.
Well, street addresses and things, so.
Okay.
And the names so that we can bill them? Are they gonna do that? No, we talked about it.
Well, we have to have a meeting with him about that, so.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else on the consent agenda? I would entertain a motion to approve that as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve it, the consent, so you're on the consent agenda, as presented.
I'll second it.
We have a second. This is spending money, so could I have a roll call vote, please?
Tom?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Open session. Anyone in the audience that wants to speak from the podium, please approach, so if it has anything to do with the agenda items. Well, Mr.
Okay, this
Barnes.
has to do with the agenda item. I think that we should, under the correspondence on B, the Iowa Township Fire Department runs report, I think we should get and insist upon it, since we're paying for it, you know, for their runs and stuff like that. We should be able to get what the run was for and who it was for. You know what I mean? So that we can bill it. It's not a question of, well, maybe you can give it to us. We're paying them to do something, and we should get a complete report given to us so that we can follow up on our end.
Very good. Okay. Anyone else have anything? Go ahead. Yeah, it's not really on the agenda, so I didn't.
And there's an accounts payable, a check to the auditors for $25,050. I just wanted to know what that it consisted of, you know, what was it for?
That was the $10,000 that we originally approved for the cleanup and for the cash reconciliation, and then the audit. So we actually, compared to last year, if they would have charged us in full, it would have been 36. So with some of the preparation that we all participated in, and because of a new clerk, we saved $10,000 if you count if they hadn't given us a discount. So hopefully next year be even more so.
And with their help, are you balancing now? I mean, your report there, you know, it's a little off on each.
That's my zero. That's where they started at the end of March with the cash summary by fund, all the cash accounts. And they balanced both the tax account and the general checking account. And it wasn't at zero, but it was as close as they could get. And so I had to balance to 53.48
Okay.
all the way through. I'm balancing from my Bible to the bank
But
statement.
you yourself are balancing as long as you use that amount.
Yes,
Yeah.
every month it was 53.48.
Yeah, and that's good.
Yeah, so hopefully I can do that with the general checking too.
You might come up with it yet, but if it's way back, you might.
Yeah, they didn't for 2 years, so I don't know, you know, but hopefully that'll get better. So,
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. We have no unfinished business. New business, we have the approval of a request payment to KSI for the taxes for printing the winter tax bill 2017 and their postage. Kathy, you want to explain that? You have,
oh, we did it
All the
last year
information
as well. The postage, we get a discount on that by going with KCI. We've actually sat down and looked at doing it as opposed to doing it ourselves, and it's less expensive going through a printing company. We did approve this last year. We gave them an estimate of 1,920 parcels, and it is $450 to process. That's setting up all the information on the front. We also get a free newsletter on the back, and then the postage, it's an estimate of $727.68. And we have to have the postage in before we do the sending of everything by November 20th. So the postage has to be paid if it's approved right away, and then we'll have everything ready to go. Our goal is the 20th of November, up to the printer and ready to go out the 1st of December, so.
Okay, we need a motion to that effect then? so-
Could
Yeah, go ahead.
say something first? It's KCI.
Did I say Casey?
Yeah, it's written in here KSI. and-
Oh.
Yeah, but it's
KCI, yes, it is for
Yeah.
that. So the motion that I'm making now is to pay the postage first, but do you need the whole package, or?
I think we should get it
The
all
whole
approved
pack-
so that it's,
That's an estimate, and it'll probably be lower. It's usually lower by the time they do the postage, but I wanted to make, can I make the motion?
yes, please make the motion.
I want my own motion. Can I make the motion then? I'll make a motion to approve printing of the winter tax bills for 2017 in the amount of $1,177.68.
And I would second that.
And if anybody else wants anything on the newsletter as well, you're more than welcome to share the back page with us if you want anything on there.
All right, we have a motion on the floor, and because we're spending money, we have a second, so would you please do a roll call vote for me, Sherry?
Tom,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Mary Agnes,
Yes.
Sherry, yes.
Okay, motion carried. All right, the second item under new business is the approval of the 2017 request for local millage distribution of the county parks in Cottrellville Township. That has already been preliminarily sent up for approval to Mark Brochu from the St. Clair County Parks and Rec, and he has approved it. I just need permission and a copy of these minutes that it was approved at this meeting. So I would like to entertain a motion for local distribution submission to the County Parks and Recreation.
This is the one we already approved for 15,473, right? The one that we
Well,
had from.
they want a previous
Yeah.
number. Do we have a motion? Well, I'll make the motion then.
Go ahead.
I'll make the motion to submit the 2017 request for local millage distribution to Port Huron to the County Parks and Recreation at the county level. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye, please. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing none. Motion carried. We'll get that in the mail tomorrow. We'll get our money before Christmas. The third item was the one new item. It's request for a renewal of the assessor certification. It's $175, which we split with Cottrellville, or with Clay Township for Barb Schutt, and $50 for MCAT designation for Ruth Schutt. A check for $87.50 would be made payable to Clay Township, and they will send it in for both townships. They've already applied for it, I guess. And then the check for $50 for Ruth should be made payable to the state of Michigan and then given to her because she has to complete some more paperwork. So if we could get that in the mail tomorrow, or get it ready to go to Clay Township, I'd appreciate it. We need to have a approval of that expense. Do I have a motion to that effect?
I'll motion for the renewal of the assessor certification in the amount of $173 and,
No, $87.50.
I'm sorry, $87.50.
I'll second that.
Okay, and what about Barb Schutt, or Ruth
Ruth.
Schutt for $50 to the state of Michigan?
The
That one
same,
too?
yeah.
Okay. And is that included in your second, Sue?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye by roll call vote, please.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Sherry, yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Public comments. Pat?
The Planning Commission will be losing a member of the Planning Commission. Mike Higgins is going back to Colorado, so he'll be moving. So we're looking for a new member. So what we're looking for is the youth in our township that are interested in being involved in the Planning Commission. We have accomplished a lot in the last couple of years, and we want people that actually are committed, can contribute in conversation, do homework, and we preferably would like to get a younger group because they're the future of this township. All applications go to Mary Agnes, and the reason why you want to be on the planning commission and your resume, and Mary Agnes will, as a supervisor, makes that decision and the board will approve. So please, we need applications for the planning commission.
Thank you, Pat.
Mary Agnes,
Yes.
I'm out of order here, but,
No, you're not.
well, not out of order of business.
Oh.
I got a call from Tim's Lawn Care. He wants to know if he's still doing the snow plowing this year.
I would say you would, yes.
That's,
I think we can
Well,
make
the
that
board's fine with
decision.
that?
He's,
He
as
just
long as
wants
he's
to get
holding his
started out.
price, right?
yep, he didn't say anything about a price increase. He just wanted me to ask the board while we're at this meeting if he's still there and,
Okay, if you need that in the form of a motion, I think we'll handle it right now.
okay, I make a motion to retain Tim's Lawn Care to do the snow removal and salt and to last year's contract.
And if he holds his price.
Yep.
I'll second that. All in favor signify by saying aye. Roll call vote, please.
Mary Agnes?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Sherry? Yes.
Okay,
Is his insurance policy correct too? That's another question I have.
motion carried. We'll check his insurance. Okay,
I'm sure.
yeah, he's a pretty reputable fellow. Mr. Osling, how are you, sir?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So happy to be back. Last week, we submitted your asset management plan to the DEQ. We over-delivered and we were asked to pare it down to 9 pages or something. We gave them what they wanted. So what's the next step? We talked briefly about it. I'm going to forward you the information on the state revolving fund. Right now, it's looking like a July 1st, 2018 submittal date for project planning. And there's 2 different possibilities. One's a green infrastructure initiative. The other one is a strategic water quality initiative. I don't know what the difference might be. So that'll be more discussion with the DEQ as far as how you plan on funding this. The green initiative, I think you would be, what's the word? A candidate for being covered under those funds because anything that you do to your pump stations is going to improve their efficiency. Great new technologies with pumps. The Strategic Water Quality Initiative Fund seems to be more in line with slip lining your clay pipe to prevent infiltration. So 2 good things to look at.
Okay, can we apply for both grants?
That's what we need to find out.
Okay,
Would
and
a
is the
portion
interest
of it
rate
be
the same
funded?
amount on either one?
I'm sorry?
Is the interest rate going to be the same amount on either one?
I believe it's pretty close.
Okay,
I believe they were still talking about a 2% for 30-year, or 2.5% for 30-year, 2% for 20-year. I don't recall. Those are rough numbers, so
Okay.
we'll be looking into it. And then I've got to get with you if we're going to begin the water reliability study. It'd be time to start looking at the township's water model, building a model, in fact. So if,
well, what I'd like to do is have a special meeting with the board on that and have you
Sure.
come in and do your presentation of what all that means so that everyone's on board and what kinds
Sure.
of steps we have to do. And, you know, it's something we don't have to take up a lot of time with, but I just want to make sure that everyone's on board with what's being discussed.
okay, we'll set that up. With the holidays coming up, people's time will be getting a little shorter, so we'll get in and hopefully kick that off.
Very good, sir.
Then we'll be on our way towards water asset management.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
Our meters up and running?
Yes, and unfortunately, I didn't take the computer with me. I was up in Port Huron. Otherwise, I would have downloaded the data again today.
We had some wet weather. We downloaded the data after that wet run
Right.
we had.
It seems that they all work correctly on days of higher flow. So there might be something with the system, each individual system, where there's maybe a threshold. So kind of the same with a water meter. you might not be getting the drip out of your sink, but every time someone flushes a toilet, your meter will go. So, something to look into. But it just coincidentally was a rain event that we got all 4 pump meters to work close to the model. Close enough for me to say it works. So, again, I look forward to downloading the data and looking at more data.
Very good, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night, and if I don't see you before, we'll see you next month.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Same to you, sir. Oh, Mr. Barnes has got some more.
Yeah, I got some more. This is off the subject from what we've been discussing tonight, but because of our financial situation in the township, and because of what happened yesterday on the fire vote, our funds, I know, are tight. And I'm wondering where we stand in all these litigations and stuff that the township has, that we have an attorney working on it. We never hear anything about it, and where we're at on any of these particular cases that might cost us more money. Sometime I'd like to have an update maybe to let the people know where we're standing on any thing that's possible, legal possibilities. And I don't know who our new attorney is. I've never seen him and never met him, but.
Because it's a she.
Oh, she? Okay. Well, that's what I get. That proves I never seen him.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be catty.
That's all right. That's all right. But what I'm saying is I'm trying to think of different places where we may be spending money, because I hate to say it, but I think we did a poor job in presenting this fire vote. We never told anybody how much money, that we don't, how would you say, we don't charge, we haven't been going after the money that we've been paying out and that we are now, and they might not realize that they don't pay their fire bill if there's something goes wrong, that they're gonna have to pay it, or be added to their taxes if necessary. I mean, it's different things like that, and I don't think we put out enough information on it, what it's gonna cost us in the long run, taken out of the township budget, or say, well, okay, we gotta have it in a budget, we'll put a budget in there for the fire department, but we're gonna take from everybody else. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul, okay? And I don't think that information really got out to the people to really understand what was going on that. Just my thought, it may not be true, but as far as our information in the Times Herald, it's just like the Times Herald, it's going down. There wasn't hardly nothing in there, nothing worthwhile.
It was in there twice, plus it was in the Voice as well.
Yeah, I saw it in the
We sent
Voice.
out postcards. We had two town hall meetings. I took a number of phone calls, I'm sure you did too, you girls.
Most of the absentee votes were already in though before all that went on. 'Cause everybody I talked to thought we were just looking for more money they just wanted to spend more money.
Yeah,
They
that's
didn't
what I'm saying.
understand any of it.
And that was a wonderful thing that we did at the fire department, go in and see what access we have to. I mean, I was impressed, and I enjoyed that. I wish there was some way we could have got more people to come, but we didn't. So I'm just thinking, we're gonna have to be more proactive on trying to get the word out to our.
Well, I think what I'll do is I'll ask the chief if we can do that like once a year, just to get it updated on everything. We'll do it in the summer when it's a little bit more
Warmer,
comfortable and people won't mind.
Yeah, but I'm saying that it's just like that. You're showing them what we have, you know what I mean? Or we should have like an open house on our, shall we say, just not necessarily on the park, but like what we're doing on the park. What are we doing on the river? People ask me about the park on the river. What's going on there? Are we gonna be able to do this? Some people wanna take the stones out of there and turn it back to where it was. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of questions out there that maybe if we listen to some of the people, but they don't say nothing. They don't speak up, so it's their fault. But I'm gonna speak up to see when I think something that maybe we should push out to the residents a little more,
Well, I would love to have more people on our Parks and Rec, but we're down to like 4 or 5 people. So,
Okay, that's all I got to say, but like I said, I just think we we have to sort of maybe plan more on how we're gonna present all this stuff to the rest of the township, because I should say, well, who cares, because they don't, here's the people that care about the township right here. We are the township, that's it. But we gotta get more people involved, and that's the main thing that I think we gotta do.
Well, as long as you brought it up about the fire authority, it did fail yesterday by 54 votes. And like Pat Runyon said, 20% of the, less than 20% of the people in our voter made that decision for us. I don't know what else we can do. We had trouble with getting some of the stuff together here, but I thought we advertised as much as we could. They had a fantastic crew that put that election together yesterday. Commend both the deputy clerk and the deputy treasurer. And of course, our clerk was outstanding. She kept her cool and kept things rolling, and she did a very nice job for her being her first election, so.
You know what else, one thing that I noticed that might have helped, okay, when everybody's running for office and stuff, they got signs all over the place. There wasn't one sign about the fire. Not one sign
That's a good
on
idea.
anybody's roadside to remind them that there was something like that on that ballot.
I'm gonna call you when we do this again, okay,
You're in
Mr.
charge of
Barnes?
signs.
We're gonna put you
I
on.
The whole thing,
When
yeah.
my kids went to public school years ago, and there was a school millage, the parents called everybody in the school district to say, this election's going on, what we need. Could we do that at the township level?
Are you volunteering to help make phone calls?
Yeah, I'll help make
All right,
phone
we'll
calls.
put you down in charge of phone calls. We'll get you a crew to do that.
Can I make a comment?
Sure, of course.
Hard to-
Yeah, less than 20% made this decision for the township. And I think
It's
people,
always like that, Pat.
I know, but
It's
I,
like that everywhere.
well, but I don't know if people understand the alternative. And what do we have, $200,000 in our,
2018.
general fund? We spend 100,000, approximately 100,000 a year on fire, not just authority, but Ira Township. And so think about that, general fund, 200,000, 100,000 a year. And then what, bankruptcy? Detroit bankruptcy cost them a lot of money. Highland Park's bankruptcy cost them a lot of money. Then what will the state do? Merge us with somebody? And then you're worried about the few dollars for fire protection, which is very important to our home. Compared to any other township, our taxes are low. Fire protection is very important. And when you worry about that, then what the alternative may be is much higher taxes. So you're sweating $10 to $20, maybe $7 a month for fire authority. And in the end, you're going to end up spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars more because you're merged with possibly another township, possibly another city. You're merged with, and then now you'll be paying for all their activities and all the things that their township or city requires. So people have to think about alternative. When you make a decision about voting, you can't just nix everything about money, you know. So I think we have to campaign a lot better too.
Well, I think that is a lot of the problem.
So people understand.
I don't think they understand that if they look
They
at their
don't
tax bill,
understand.
there's nothing on there for the township except the administration fee, which is the cost of producing the taxes and collecting the money. Everything else is the school district and the county. There's nothing to take care of anything in this township. We have special assessment for garbage, that's all.
And what other, Vi told me many years ago, for every $1,000 we pay in property taxes, what do we get, $1.75, something like that?
No, it's not even that much.
Is that even that much, $1.50? I forget what it was, but it's, you know, I was green, didn't know anything, and I used to sit here and in my mind criticize, because I didn't know anything. And I was shocked to think that for every $1,000 you pay in taxes, the township gets less than $1.75 or whatever it is.
Well, we have, I think this current 2017 was $124 million worth of taxes. that was collected. And we get 1% of that.
So we're supposed to run a township, and people want things.
And
You
it was
can't
just 3/4
want
of
without
1%.
spending
Right.
some money, and if you go somewhere
it's
else, you will spend a hell of a lot more money because you'll be a new resident and your taxes will be based on that new residency. Us that have been in our township a long time, or anybody even 10 years, your taxes will not move as quickly as they would if you move out of the township. And we really would like to attract younger people. I mean, we have to try to get that broadband. We do need water for the people that have the problems and attract the younger generation, because none of us is getting any younger, and we need the younger generation. This is a great place to raise families. We have a good school system, and there's a lot of freedom for the kids to be raised out in the country, so it would be nice to have people be more informed about the actualities. You can't sweat $100 here and it doesn't add up to cover all the expenses, so.
A lot of people do have to sweat that $100.
I know that. Oh, I realize that, but in the end,
You have a lot of senior citizens that are,
but I don't think it was the senior citizens, be honest with you, I don't think it was the senior citizens that voted it down. So, anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Speaking of broadband, we did have a meeting this week with the Lori Eschenberg from St. Clair County Metropolitan Planning, and she did give us a map. They are going to, with Kathy's permission, we're going to somehow get a card either in the mail or something that will come back in with the taxes for people that are interested in signing up for high-speed internet. It will be fiber optic line, and they have a phase 1 setup of certain streets, and then they'll have if they get enough people that are interested, they'll probably do phase 2 right behind it. Otherwise, it'll be dead in the water. But if things go and we get enough response from people that are willing to, agree to sign up, when this company puts this together, it's going to be a good thing for the residents. Young lady that was instrumental in doing that was Penny Estrada. Estrada? Is that it?
Estrada?
Estrada.
Well, that probably won't go through very easily.
Yeah.
Depending on the cost, actually, but
Yeah.
Well, and her house isn't even in the phase 1 area.
No.
So she did all of that with a group of other people and.
Knocking on doors.
And she's hoping they'll get enough of a response so that they'll consider doing phase 2, and it's
And she'll
fine.
be included in
It'll be
that
a
one.
lot less expensive than what people are paying now that don't have Comcast.
Yeah.
Will they have a public meeting to let us know what the broadband will entail, because I'd love to see Comcast with competition.
Well, we could arrange for that.
The only reason I keep my TV is because my internet. And if I take my TV off, they'll raise my internet $20. So I might as well keep my TV to the minimum I do. So,
they're looking for customers though.
Yes.
I mean,
Well, they want
we
it.
have somebody who lives in Clay Township, we're sitting out in their yard with fire going on in the evening, and a Comcast guy walked up, and they're getting their Comcast back for $100 a month less than what they were paying.
But see, they have a WOW or something, there's some other one that's out there, so they do have that competition. That was, I don't know, if it's within the last year or something.
Yep.
And that's when they, it's in Clay.
Yeah, they're trying to get people who are lucky
Yeah.
because of the cost.
So that's pretty good news. Anybody got anything else? Any board member comments? I think.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Go
Do
ahead.
you plan on having a Christmas party?
A Christmas party?
Yeah.
For the kids, you mean?
For the kids?
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be a good idea,
Why?
because we don't have money, and that's $500 for that and
It's
the
in
next
it's in the
party.
Parks and Rec.
I know
money.
it's in there, but,
What do you think we can do with Parks and Rec money except spend it on Parks and Rec?
well, yeah, but I'm sure that there's other things that should be done besides a party, because people say, if you don't have money for this, you've got money for a party, so.
So
how
we
can
take
you
all the
ask-
money that comes from the county, we just applied for that. When we get that
No,
17,000,
no,
I gotta send it back
no.
because you don't wanna spend it on parties?
No, that should be the last thing that it should be spent on. It has to be spent on mowing, it has to be spent on equipment.
It doesn't go through all that. It doesn't, there's more than enough left of that.
Okay, then power to the pavilion is
Okay.
more important than a
Well,
party.
we're working on that.
There, okay, so that should be the last thing, and I don't think that we should be spending it on parties. And I don't think other people think we should either.
Okay, well,
Because they
that's your
say you
opinion.
want tax money, but you're having parties.
Yeah, but do you understand that when the money comes in from the county for Parks and Rec, it can't be used for anything but Parks and Rec?
I know.
What are you gonna do for kids? That's what it is, it's for kids.
I sat on Parks and Rec, and I saw what came in, and I saw what went out. And there wasn't that much left.
Yeah, but that's been paid off, the debt.
Yeah, the problem was
No,
the
it wasn't just a piece of
administrative.
property. There's a lot for mowing and other things, there's equipment.
Yeah, but there was $8,000 a year, wasn't there paid off on the?
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
that
gone.
was for 3 years.
it's
And-
all paid for.
Yeah, I know. I make a motion that we do not have a Christmas party.
Do I have
Well, you know,
support?
The kids are residents also, they ought to get something. You know, I mean, I know they're not physically paying it, but their parents are, and I think. it's
Yeah,
nice, you know.
Well, parents always find a way to have a Christmas for their kids. And even if our township is having problems in other areas, that money still should be there. Where's the memories for the kids of doing anything in the community? I mean, how many poor parents you know that find a way? I remember my parents making things when things were tough, but we still had a Christmas. And you're trying to get people involved in the community. Where do you start?
and we're also talking about bankruptcy for our township.
Because
So how can we do
Dollars
both?
that is money
I know
not
it's all our,
it has nothing
it's
to do-
all our money.
But
Yeah.
you can't
But-
take,
but can you-
can't take from Peter to pay Paul because that money is only fixed for that. You get in trouble if you were to use that.
And I realize that because I was on Parks and Rec. But you also see what
How long were
else
you on
has
Parks
to be
and Rec?
done.
So
for
then
over a
you
year.
be bah humbug because your life is miserable and because you're having hard times. So you walk around going, well, I can't celebrate anything, I can't be happy because life is rough. And so now I can't even do anything with the kids because life is terrible because the township might go bankruptcy. You're supposed to keep your chin up high because positive brings positive, negative brings
And
negative.
you know, there are the people who don't have a lot of money, they can bring their kids, and the kids have fun in a party and stuff.
All right, well, we have a motion on the floor right
Well,
now.
maybe
Do we
could-
have a second?
We could do things like we did for the other party where in addition to what amount we spend on that or agree to spend, is there an amount that we agree to spend on that?
It was 500.
Then maybe we could ask for donations like we did for Easter. We got donations for that as well. But,
Well,
I-
in an event like this, you gotta look at it this way. The kids, it's an investment in our community.
I agree.
We wanna draw more people in and get involved and know everybody and get active, you know? If we have more people that are active and react, you know, that makes a stronger township. So I think the party's fine, and I know a lot of people give, I didn't come, but I know a lot of people give to that. And you get a lot of help from different organizations or something that help throw a party and make a big deal out of it, draw a lot of people.
Okay, we still have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second to cancel the Christmas party?
No, okay.
I think that's died for lack
Okay,
of
it
support.
died.
Well, you might not spend all the $500 anyway, that money would go back.
Well, we never spend over 500. Anything that we're short, I always pick up out of my pocket.
Yeah.
I have a comment. I just want to say that Nicole and I, my deputy Nicole Hart and I finished our 5-part tax class through MTA. We've been through all 5 sections and we have access to the information. We can enter the website and review it up to 3 times until March. So March of next year, they'll probably have the same type of offer out where you get twice as many classes or half the price. So we'll be looking for something else to dig into. So
That would be good. Remind us when it comes due.
It's a little dry information. That might be why they have you go through it 3 times, because it's a lot of, you can't watch it late at night or you're gonna be doing this, but it was good. It helped. It helped on the oddball topics like land banks and pilts and DNR properties and things I never knew about, so.
That's why I said nobody realized
You're right.
behind the scenes, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Very good. Do we have anything else? Anyone else want to add anything or question anything, or? Then I guess a motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn at 8:09 PM. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Barnes.